We're back again. This one's part 2 because we had to cut, because now we're going into something a bit different.
Yeah.
So, here she is, Patricia Tosh. How Posh? Take it away, sister.
Exhibia,
Mom. Yeah. So, what was it that you wanted to show me, Mom, about that water?
Oh, yeah, because
I cannot believe it.
Remember last time, I said that we would go and have a look at the back where we could plant food.
Yes.
And this and that. But what it was, because every couple of weeks I cook for Mr. King at the memorial home.
Yeah.
Right? And then he like 3 dinners or something or more. And so it's like, see, my dog is outside there, right? And where we had, like, we landscape the garden.
It's
and
beautiful out there.
AstroTurf, that half. But what the dogs then was doing, they was ripping up the AstroTurf.
Naughty.
Because we blocked off the bit where
you do the food. The allotment.
Yeah. So in the end, Mark had to go and get them black metal surround all around
gates.
On the brickwork.
Looks lovely.
Because it's like nearly every day or every couple of days I have to go out and clean his mess and bleach down the wee. I've never seen a dog can wee so much or do so much do.
Bless him.
Right, but it's something. Well, Mark used to come and clean it, but he doesn't anymore because he's busy now doing something. So I have to do it. So like the next day, I was to do all the cooking for Mr. King, and in bring you see, we've always all our life we buy hake, and we buy the slim one and we get them to chop it up and fry
I always get that from you. I never like the thick hake fish.
And
it's gotta be cut thin.
Yeah, I didn't know that they do big wide hake. So he brought
much.
And then if my frying pan's little and it only could hold like 1.5 at a time, where I haven't got a Dutch pot anymore because it's deep. Yeah. So it's like on my new cooker, all the fat flying out and everything, right? So it's like I did go out the next morning and clean up because I'm gonna have to open the windows in the kitchen because of the fish.
Yeah.
The smell of the fish in the house. Right. So, but before that, the day before, that's it. I scrubbed down the back, bleached it.
Because you didn't want to cook.
Remember,
with the stuff out there.
Yeah, we had beautiful weather all week.
Oh, it was heavenly.
Right? And then late afternoon, all of a sudden, a storm came.
Yeah, that storm was a storm.
Yeah, because Keel come down, we was looking at it, and the brickwork outside that Mark put down, right? It's got patterns in it, like rose pattern.
Okay.
So we look in, and we're lucky here because we're on a hill, right? Like Aston Villa, they're down below.
Yeah.
Right? Star City, they're down below.
You're right, because when you walk down Marvin Hill.
Yeah, we never ever suffer from flooding. But it was really high. And then when we look, we saw in the water all of these black things. Yeah, and remember we was talking about the Kill Prince because he was trying to warn the world for them chemtrails and those jets that they're dropping stuff, right? And we was wondering what all that black stuff in the rain was.
And wasn't it in your drain as well?
Yeah, the next day.
In the grooves of your slabs.
Because everyone's got smooth slabs around here, but we got that lovely rose pattern one, right? So didn't take no notice. So the next morning I go out and I've got about 4 or 5, them silver metal dog bowls.
Yeah.
Right, because the day before I scrubbed them all out with Brillo and rinsed them and put them on the bench. Right, so when I go out the next morning, they catch rainwater, right? And each dish had.
And bearing in mind, everyone, she cleaned the dishes the day before
them.
and put them on the thing.
Yeah. And so I thought I'd take a sample, because if I know anyone with a lab.
Pass it here. I can show it better.
I don't know
from
if you
here.
can look at the bottom.
Can you see all of that? Can you see it, everyone?
That's from the rain.
That is the rainwater. Nothing to do with the dishes, because they were scrubbed out and clean and it was empty. This is what came from.
Can you show the?
Yeah. I'm showing the bottom. You can see it all, Gab. What is that in our rainwater?
Yeah.
There you go.
So I thought, let me keep a bit. Like if we know someone, we can sample. This came down in the rain. It was on the bench. It was clean. And this.
And then it was on your slabs as well, the black gooey stuff and everything.
Yeah. So if you all don't want to take no notice and think it's madness that we're talking, or it was madness Princess was talking, yeah? That's why they kill him.
Of course.
Because what is this?
They're killing us?
I decide to keep that.
How can... I've never seen that in rainwater.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah, if things was dirty, that's from the dirt. But no, that is from the water from up above.
Yeah.
So what are they doing up there?
Yeah, because usually if we're going to have a storm, we get thunder and lightning to warn us. But this time it just came down without any warning. And it was up to there. But as I say, we're on a hill, so it don't get in our houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is terrible. So
I thought I'd keep that to show you all.
They're trying to kill us.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill us. They're putting stuff in that water.
Yeah.
People don't believe me when I say to them, you know, because I know from our studies, so I pass it on to other people.
Yeah.
And when I try to tell them, that they're now controlling the weather, they're like, oh, you can't say that because no one can touch what God is doing.
Yeah.
They're doing their own things up there.
From the heavens, the 4 or 5 silver dishes.
Yeah. They're making a sun
with Brillo and everything.
I think China, or is it Japan, one of them have already done their fake sun. They can make fake rain come. They can do so much stuff.
Yeah, because I did Too Strong with President Johnson that took over when they killed Kennedy. Because he done a speech where he was saying that they're controlling the weather. It's up there, right? And see, they admitted, because what it is, you see, everyone thinks that millions of us going to gather before the throne on Judgment Day. And I keep telling them, no, it's not like that. Because we'd be there for eternity, each one being judged and confessing their sins or being praised for what they've done in life. Right? It's going on now. Now. You see? All right, they're controlling the internet and the YouTube, but it's God Almighty. This is what's going on. You got to be careful what you put out.
Yeah.
You hear? Careful what you put out on there. So this is all part of the judgment.
And because obviously my mum told me this a few days ago, so I already knew what she was going to say about this, but it is true. I felt what you said.
Yeah.
Like when you said that time with everyone thinks we're all going to come back and one by one we're all going to get judged. And what did you say? He ain't going to do it like that.
It's going on now.
The judgment is now.
Each and everyone. So you got to be careful what you put out. Because what you put out and you caught, because what Jesus said, I will make you fishers of men, right? If you follow me, right? So it's like whatever you put out and you've got a following, you got to be careful because they're going in with you.
Yeah, that's all. You've catched that much.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to be judged on.
Yeah.
It's very serious.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. Like when you see a lot of these, like I have to go back to them, celebrities and that, who have fans. Yeah. Realistically, them are your catch.
Yeah, like Beyonce.
Yeah, and when
catch.
and when
Jay-Z,
when
all of
Beyonce them are on
they
stage
catch.
and they're doing that symbol with the eye in the middle
Yeah.
and they're holding it up, all the fans are doing it.
Yeah, well, they're going in.
So so that's what's happening.
Yeah, each of us gonna go in with our catch.
Yeah, they're following them.
Yeah.
So when you've been given a mouthpiece, God has blessed you to give a mouthpiece. You need to use it wisely because you can lead the people astray like the Pied Piper.
That's right.
You see? So you've got to make sure, because you're going to be judged for it.
Yeah, and you've taken a lot of people down to hell with you.
Yeah.
Even some of these pastors and preachers like T.D. Jakes and
a lot of them.
All of them, right? They got thousands of followers.
Yeah,
all
millions.
Them Africans, like, what's his name again? Because I said I'm coming for him. Look at them. And then that other one that make the people then drink petrol. Remember?
You told me that?
Yeah. We've done all of that.
Petrol, you know.
And all God wants everyone to do, learn wisdom, wake up, sense. And He's telling them all, come away. But they're not there. So each of them, whatever you do and whatever you preach, or everything, right? You're taking all those people to hell with you. So the people them now have to learn sense now. And as I keep saying, come away from those religions and churches. Stand alone with Christ.
Yeah,
it might be a lonely thing, right? But stand alone, because then He's ready to show you what you've got to do. Because each of us, we've got to do something. Yeah? Or like that song say, just like a tree that's planted by the waterside, we shall not be moved.
Yeah.
We're known as trees. Yeah? So, whatever He's got.
Son, you going out? You going out? Yeah, because if you need the key, I've got it here. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone.
You get what I'm on about. So, last week I put up about Bob Marley, right? And he was a fisherman.
Yeah.
His catch, where, again, what Jesus said, I will make you fisher of men if you follow me. So I'm saying next to Jesus Christ, yeah, who was the original fisherman, right? His catch that He's taking in all nations, yeah. And then what it was, you see, the man of Galilee, I like to call him, he's bringing himself on this level, he was man, God, but not putting his divinity aside, but he's come on our level, lived as one of us, yeah. So I call him the man of Galilee. So it's like early one morning, he's walking along the seashore in Galilee, and he sees some fishermen, and they was out all night and they didn't catch no fish.
Yeah.
So he approached them, and he says to them, like, if you let me, I'll come out with you and I will show you how to catch the fish. So they allowed him, and then what did he say? Cast your nets to the right.
Yeah.
And when you look, it was the biggest haul that
they've ever had.
Those fishermen ever had. But then he says to them, he said, you know something? I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. So there and then they gave up that job and they went to catch, people.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah, real fish people.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm a fisherman.
You are?
You're a fisherman. We're a person then.
In my way, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
And I said to Keel, I'm calling him now. I call him, hey, fisherman. He goes, what you on about? I said, what you're doing there with your DJing and everything.
And the followers.
Your followers. So you're catching.
Yeah.
So be careful. And then I said, well, do you ever talk about God or anything? He says, it's like they're not really interested
A
in
lot of
God.
people are the same.
Yeah.
I get that too.
Yeah, you see, but eventually,
But the main thing is, when you do mention God to them, you've convicted them.
yeah.
So even if they don't want to listen, they're gonna remember.
Yeah, but in his little way,
They're
he
gonna
does.
remember.
He does,
yeah,
yeah.
he does. He does.
Yeah, so,
They're gonna remember.
you know, so each of us on this internet or whatever, we're fishers of men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And don't I always say to you, every now and again, I hear a whisper,
yeah,
I'm gonna make you fishers of men.
yeah,
Fisher. And I'm like, let me tell my mom.
yeah.
What
that's
I'm
what we are.
hearing.
Yeah.
So I know he's got to be
Literally
pleased
catching
with me.
Fish, it's fishers of men. You see, so it's I can find it here.
Bless.
Oh yeah.
We're well blessed.
This is about my island, St. Martin, during slavery. She's known as one titty nanny.
Okay.
See, when the women used to run away and they catch them, they used to cut off one of their breasts.
You joking?
One titty nanny.
Why did they used to do that?
Yeah, like with the men, like with Kunta Kinte, they'd chop a bit of their foot off or something, isn't it?
That's wicked, man. We went through so much.
Yeah, and then, cause yeah, again, I know some of my older followers will know this. I'm from St. Martin. It's 2 islands in one, French and Dutch, right? On the Dutch side, we have our, can you see it properly?
Yeah, very clear.
Our Mount Zion, see with the Z in,
Yeah.
and see the slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And say that I was born in St. Martin, and after 2 weeks I was taken to my grandfather's estate in Cayon in St. Kitts. And I stayed there till I was 7. Then my earthly dad, Tatty we call him, he come and took me back to St. Martin for my education in the convent with the nuns. And so our mountain, because you see the capital, Philipsburg, well, I want that changed, yeah, Philipsburg, right? On one side, you've got the salt pond, and then the other side, the sea. So overnight, sometime when all the stars are out, and it's all, glitters with the sea and the salt pond, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So, what am I saying now again? Yeah, St. Martin, that's where I'm from.
Yeah, with the mountains.
As I said, and I started school at the convent, and then the police chief, and we had a new police chief come in there, and he had a son, Vernon. So he decided to claim me.
Yeah.
Right, but I already had a boyfriend in Cayon, up in the mountains too. And when I was little, I used to follow him around because he was always gambling. Probably that's where I get the gambling bug from. But you see how they gamble not with cards, with little stones, pebbles.
Yeah.
Right? Like that, and whatever. So, and couple times he even took his mum's knickers out to, pants to gamble with. So he was my boyfriend in St. Kitts.
Yeah.
So like in St. Martin, the new police chief's son, Vernon. So I had 2. Right, so he was a year or 2 older than me. So,
the one who, or Vernon?
not Hugh, Vernon.
Okay.
So one day they come and they took me out of my classroom and put me in his classroom.
Oh.
Now remember, I is man, I is big and whatever. And he didn't like it. So he kept threatening me like that, like I'm gonna get you, Patsy, in the class. And I'm going, yeah.
Is it because you was bright and brainy, so they moved you up?
But what it is, you see, my grandfather up in the mountain, there was no school. But his daughters, he had 7 daughters, 3 sons. Well, 1 out of marriage, yeah?
Yeah.
And they used to go private school. So my Auntie Paulette, when she come home from school, at the back of the house, you know, like a veranda there, and all the mountain children and me, whatever she learned at the private school that day, whether she liked it or not, she had to teach us because Papa bought a lot of slates, you know, them little slates and chalk, yeah? So that all the mountain children, I mean, I've gone back there now and there is schools, but so it was my Auntie Paulette, she was like a teacher from she young. Yeah, so when I hit St. Martin now, I didn't go proper school in St. Kitts, right? And so I already was taught that way from her.
So yes, you already was advanced.
They decided to move me up. I think he was about 2 years older than me. And as I said, he's there threatening me silently because, you know, you have to be respectful in the class at that time. And when the teacher back turned, I'm going to get you, Patsy. And I'm thinking, what did I do? It wasn't my fault. They moved me up to his class. So in the end, because we finished school at 1, we go from 8 to 1. So after we break, I said to him, okay, I'll meet you down the beach. Because I live back street. There's only 2 of the longest streets in St. Martin as a capital.
Yeah.
And we got our Mount Zion up there and then touch the bottom to the other part. So I run home quick and change, right? And
ready to fight.
yeah, and because this boy threatening me, right? So I run through the alleyway, hit Front Street, run down another alleyway to the beach where by the Seaview Hotel, where we have all them, you know, black grapes, original grapes.
Okay, I love grapes, I do.
So I'm there now, because remember, the sun is still blazing. This is after 1 in the day. So I'm there now, and I'm looking for this boy now to fight, right? And I can't find him. And then all of a sudden, it's like I went in a vision, and I saw a group of fishermen, right? Yeah, the right side of the mountain. And I'm thinking, what they doing here? Because fishermen them come in about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then, now the honest truth is, I couldn't tell you from the distance where I was what colour there was. But they had like a pretty boat, you know, fishing boat. And there was a gang of them. And then I heard one of them say something like, I will make you a fisher of men if you follow me. And I go, yeah,
From
I
that
like
young.
that. Yeah. So I was about 8. I go, yeah, I like that. And then all of a sudden, it's like I come out the vision and disappeared. So that's where I had my calling.
You had that from that young.
At the side of our Mount Zion, you know, and the sea. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's taken this long now.
Doesn't matter when he calls. He may not come when you call, but he's always on time.
I saw.
And he was on time with you.
As I said, I couldn't.
You had to go through all your growth and your this and that and everything
and
first.
everything, yeah.
You know, all the shit or this or that. But now he's got you and you're doing what you're supposed to do.
I'm there looking for this boy now. He threatened to fight. Because it was me, Claudette, and Patsy, the governor's daughter. It was us 3 girls, little girls. We used to, our mission was always to beat the boys. Yeah? That was us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that did happen to me. At the side of Mount Zion. Yeah? See? It's got the Z in. So it's like, when I went back in 1999, and then when I come back here, I said to someone, I ain't going back.
No, you were saying it to someone here, and I heard you say you was upset.
Yeah, I said, I ain't going back there. And he goes, why? I said, because I keep chopping out my mountain.
Because they're building it to make it look Americanized.
Yeah, because it's known as...
Well, westernized.
Little New York. because
Oh.
it's St. Martin is a duty-free port of the world. 72 nations deal there. On the front street, pure jewelry, like the Swiss jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was there when I was there, right? But looking at chopping out my mountain, and I'm going, oh, I ain't going back there. Yeah, because of that. That was the reason.
Yeah, the messing up things.
Yeah, yeah, and then like sometime I'm listening to Burning Spear, you know, like his songs like if we should live up in the hills and kind of things, and in certain times it's like because a couple times Tati, my earthly father, we said to him, we're gonna climb to the top. So he goes, you all won't be able to do it. So he used to make lunch and everything. We'd only get a little way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like we could see like someone was watching us. Yeah? And we never did get there. Yeah? And then at the bottom of the mountain you've got the Catholic graveyard, and then before it the Protestant one. So as children we all had to follow everyone that passed over.
Yeah.
Right? And we weren't scared of death because we used to think, bury them, and then in the night God and his angels gonna come down from the mountain and take them. That was our
Yeah, so you wasn't from a child.
Yeah, and then another thing, the morgue we got the big hospital, but the morgue was at the side. And as children, someone died, we could just walk in and look at them.
Really?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Wow. So you was never scared when you saw a body?
No, because in our little minds, bury them, but then God and his angels then gonna come down
and wake them up.
Yeah. So this was our holy Mount Zion. Just seated in Mount Zion, him rule all creation. You know that song, We Jamming by Bob Marley. So it could be. Yeah, but I saw the fishermen them there. That's why they call me Mad Pat when I tell them certain things, you know.
But leave them, let them.
But I knew, I saw the fishermen.
It's just like when you was in Holland, innit? And you saw Rose, Peter Tosh, another one.
Yeah. We was
You went to go and visit your family.
it was in the Amsterdam, because my sister lived Valkenburg, so we had to catch a train up like 2.5 hours up into, and you know the highest mountain in Holland is where my sister lived. It's no higher than this 2-story house.
Really?
Yeah. And then her husband is a member of parliament. Right, and then while I was there, the people then was complaining to him, you know, when they're burying the dead, because all the water, they dig the grave, but all the water, because probably that's why they have the thing about the boy that stick his finger in the dam. Yeah. Also, a lot of planes during the Second World War crashed there. And then where he's saying the sea shall give up the dead, and they're finding some of those planes now. So it's on water. Holland is. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, and then we're at the train station now in the morning to go into Amsterdam, and it's like again a vision. And it's like I was back there when they was transporting the Jews on those trains, you know, on those cart trains. You know, funny things happens to me. Yeah, and then we reach in Amsterdam, and now my daughter Renee, she went with me over there, and some of her workmates wanted her to go into those, what they call them, sex shops or whatever, to buy them, you know, naughty girls, to buy them things.
Yeah.
So we there now, and then when you look, there's a lot of men in the beer pubs drinking, but what? they're all looking to wait their turns because you had the working ladies in the window. So they drinking the beer, but you saw what they was waiting to go in there and standing there. Then all of a sudden, it's like, you know, we're on the bridge there. All of a sudden, it felt like it was collapsing under me. And, you know, other people was there. They didn't see that, but I did. That's what happened. And then I left Rose and other people back here. And all of a sudden, with it, you know, collapsing, all of a sudden, I look, I see Peter Tosh and I see Rose. And I'm going, Rose is in England.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the three of us put our hand up and we go, where there is corruption, there must be an eruption. And then I was back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And it happened to you when you was very little in West Indies about England, didn't it? Before you even came here.
Yeah, yeah.
You saw a building in another vision.
Yeah, yeah. I was with
You've been getting your calling for a long time.
Yeah, with my grandma.
Can you open that, please, Patricia?
We go into Barstow, and it's walking with her. And she bought me, they didn't say ice doll, they used to be called popsicles. Like, I think the Americans call them popsicles.
Thank you.
And we walk in, and then all of a sudden, on that side, I saw this great big brown long building. Because there's nothing like that in St. Kitts.
Yeah.
Right? And it's when I come to England now, I saw it was the Houses of Parliament.
You've been getting your calling from long.
Yeah, visions.
Yeah.
You see?
You've been well blessed.
Yeah, so.
Well, you are well blessed.
As we don't know that they're gonna have to pay for what they've done. Yeah, not going into too much. Yeah, so as I said, I put up Bob Marley them singing. If you are a big tree,
we are a small axe,
sharp and ready,
ready to cut you down,
to cut you down. Why boast it thyself, O evil man, playing smart and not being clever?
Yeah.
I said you're working iniquity to achieve vanity. If I saw, but the goodness of Jaja, I jure it forever. You see, and who are dedicated to King Charles and Company. You hear me? You hear?
Yeah.
As I say, you know, there's more to it. Yeah. And then afterwards, when I put that, the Congos tell you to put it up.
Yeah.
Roll, Fisher.
They're liking that. They're liking that on our YouTube. They're liking it.
So, like they were singing about, you know, Bob Marley was a fisherman. So they, even though he's gone 40 odd years, he's still catching.
Yeah.
Row. And then what come to me was, he goes, please don't you rock my boat, 'cause I don't want my boat to be rocked.
You gotta listen and really understand what he's singing, because people get the wrong, interpretation of it.
And he goes, whoa, I like it like that. He says, we're all in the same boat, rocking on the same boat. Oh, can't you see what you've done for me? I'm happy inside all of the time. Yeah. So, you know that song. So that song came straight after I put that up. You see, the Congos really, remember, the man of Galilee, Jesus, yeah? He even said it himself. That's why he talked in parables. He said, the wicked won't understand what is on the bag, but his people will understand the parables. Like, again, what I said long time ago, Bob Marley come out and he goes, I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Right? And then you think, when Jesus goes, he sees Satan fall like lightning. Yeah? And like he says, it's none of our business, but I'm having deputies here.
Yeah.
And then he goes, if I was not confident in you, my children, I wouldn't leave you all to deal with the deputies.
See it there?
So that's what Bob Marley's song was about.
Clever man.
That
Yeah,
was,
he got his inspiration.
He come on this level with what our Lord Jesus was saying. The deputies. So
and you notice, no matter what they done, this is before they killed him.
Yeah.
They had to put out all them conscious songs. Them songs, they couldn't stop them songs from coming out.
No.
And look, they're still with people now.
They knew that they have to get in the beast in order to, yeah, but it's still the word of God to counteract.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the last one, I think it's what Psalms 149, where God says, you know, King David wrote, he says, I call upon all singers and players of instruments. My strings are in D. Yeah? Because music is a one language all over the world.
It is.
You know?
It is.
And, you know, everyone can capture that. But, you know, Lucifer, he was that beautiful angel. He was in charge.
And then
in the book of Ezekiel.
When he got cast down.
Yeah, and you touch him, a musical chord. He was full up with all different jewelry. He was so gorgeous. You see, but like when he got jealous because we was going to our woolly head daddy, because you know we were there at creation, like to, ooh, if you can remember, some of you will remember we were there, right?
I don't remember, but I feel I was there.
It will come. And we used to keep, you know, we go along the Milky Way, Niagara Falls, everything. We're not standing there with wings. There's different angels for that, right? And we'd come back, and wow, our woolly daddy, look how clever you are. Yeah? And he got jealous and wanted that worship. So this is when his heart turned bad, because he was made perfect. Again, Almighty God give every one of us choice, even Lucifer, the angels. So he took a third of them down with him. Again, the Bible said, like in this crucial time now, listen, there's more of we than of them.
Yes, there is.
You see, because my favorite prophet in the Bible is Elisha, not Elijah. He was an apprentice to Elijah, right? And like he's out one day in a mountain walking, and all of a sudden a whirlwind come and took Elijah up. He didn't die the first death. And then the shock of it, his apprentice, right? He lost his hair, and that's why I love him. I call him my bald-headed prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he used to, and he picked. Elijah left his mantle, his garment.
That's what was left behind.
He picked it up, and he still didn't know. He weren't confident enough, because remember, he was still a pupil, still learning. But he did know what was wrong in the cities. So he used to go down, and he used to taunt the people, the wicked one. And so they'd be chasing him back, right? And when he reached up the mountains, and then he used to go, you know, if I be a man of God, let fire come on them. And when you look, fire used to come. You see, he had to learn. Yeah, and then eventually, as he got older and progressed, he got other helpers. So one time, I think it was a Persian king or something, he was wondering, you know, how come those Israelites always know when to plan to attack and whatever. They thought they had a spy. So what they decide is they're going to surround them, thousands of them.
Yeah.
So one of his helpers woke up early in the morning and saw, like he was a watchman, and I'm frightened. And Elisha's telling him, don't be scared, but then Elisha prayed to God to show him. So all of a sudden, he was shown that around these thousands, there was millions of angels.
Wow, see?
You hear?
See?
And that's what, in this crucial time now, we're going to have to know that.
Yeah, we have to trust in it.
Yeah. They will come to our aid.
They do. They
Yeah.
do. I have different situations in my everyday and in my life, and I know that he sends them.
Yeah.
He sends them for me.
Because with me, one night, I in a dream, Peter Tosh, he says to me, he's watching my house.
Remember you said?
Yeah.
You phoned me and said you when you woke up. Because country always says that. When you wake up from a dream, have a pen and paper ready and write it down, because some dreams you lose them.
Yeah.
So make sure you write it down.
He told me. But anyway, we're going to leave that. But I'm just going to do one little thing that I want you to put on. Yeah, because you got to hurry up. This boy Romeo, he's got a ex-professional Coventry City player, comes all the way from where he lives again.
Is it Nottingham? So it's
up that side.
Yeah.
And he comes and he once or twice a week and train the
3 days a week now.
3 days trains the youth them in Birmingham.
Well, he does 1-to-1 with Romeo. Romeo's doing so well.
Yeah. Because you remember Romeo, he was into his basketball. He still is.
He does basketball,
right?
but he loves the football.
Terry, innit? The
because
ex Coventry City footballer.
Yeah, because of
so this is why you don't ever have much time. I mean, you just come back from a funeral. We ain't got much time. So, to do everything, because you've got to go and take him.
Monday, sorry to put my business out. It's my second part of my dental surgery at 12:30, so we're going to have another study then.
Yeah, and then like Niall, he's determined. He weren't interested before, but his progress and he determined to be a footballer. And then I'm showing him things.
He's always worried though, Mum.
Yeah.
He always goes,
he's got nice legs.
Yeah, he does, but he always worries like, do I have to join the Illuminati to be because he really wants to be a footballer, but he's always conscious of God.
He's studying and he's seeing.
Yeah, but he's always conscious of what God will think.
Yeah.
And I have to say to him, no, God's got his people everywhere.
Yeah.
And what you always say to him, don't sign certain things that they want you to sign.
Yeah.
Look over it first, do whatever first.
Yeah.
You know? But he's always worried.
Yeah.
But if I do be a footballer, am I gonna... And so that shows that his heart is with God.
Yeah, so in the meantime, you see, I know more about football than most of these football supporters, right? Because I'm telling him about during the First World War, the first black footballer, he fought in the war from Northampton. Remember? When you brought the thing there and they've got a statue.
Yeah.
Northampton. And then I showed him John Thompson. I say you gotta know the history and whatever.
Yeah.
And then what it is, it was a Celtic goalkeeper.
Okay.
And it, farewell, my darling Johnny, for the best of friends must part. No more we'll stand and cheer you, for you left your heart at Celtic Park. Why do I grieve? Why do I grieve? John Thompson sleeps beneath the glen.
Why did he pass away?
He got kicked in his head. He played his part that autumn day, but left his heart at Celtic park. So it's all them things I'm showing him. I mean, players like him, they was probably only earning £5 a week. You hear? They done it for the love and because of the talent. Not like these ones now, millions and millions, and think they're fucking gods. You hear? And then you have to remember, you know, the whole country, Wales, Scotland, all over, those men, they work in the coal mines. Some of them died in there or whatever, or most of them get the lungs clogged up or gassed in there. That's why they send in that yellow bird, I forgot what they call it now, to smell out. Because if it dies in there, it means they can't go in there because the gas.
Never had to do
Yeah.
that.
You see, and he was so handsome. John Thompson.
Oh.
Every football supporter supposed to look him up. I think it was in the 20s.
Oh.
So at the end of the day, the only thing they had was a football. You know, the mine workers. So, yeah, so he was a goalkeeper. And he got kicked in his head.
Sad.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful in that sport as
Yeah.
well.
John Thompson. So, anyway.
Okay.
Leave that now.
Okay. Ciao.
Silence. Yeah. Ta-da!